We all know Hollywood is the film capital of the world, but Los Angeles is not necessarily where Hollywood movies are made. Big budget productions in the U.S. has been shrinking since 2022, while other locations like Canada, like the UK, like Australia have been on the rise. By the way, President Trump says a major problem is being created by this, and he's proposing a solution: a 100% tariffs on films produced internationally. Take a listen.
I want to help the industry. But they're given financing by other countries. They're given a lot of things, and the industry was decimated. If you look at how little is done in this country now.
The White House says a final decision on films tariffs has not been made, but if they do get implemented, there are still a lot of questions about how they would work. So for more on whether it's a good idea to force Hollywood to bring production back to the U.S., I am joined by film and TV producer, industry executive, and educator, Alexis Alexanian. Alexis, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for calling me.
So you've produced independent films like Oscar-nominated Pieces of April. You were a production coordinator in my personal favorite, A League of Their Own. So you know what goes into this decision-making. Why do producers choose to film movies overseas? What are the factors that go into that decision?
Well, producers are in charge of making a plan, a sound plan. There are many factors, right? Financial is number one. You have a script and you're putting together a budget and a schedule that works for that script. So they have to look at factors including tax incentives, regional tax credits, where there's talent, meaning cast and crew, and what infrastructure exists in a certain area before they decide where to shoot.
So why is it cheaper to shoot overseas in general? What are those reasons? And then what are producers able to do with the extra money that they save on filming overseas? Well,
some of the factors involved in shooting overseas are that there are richer tax credits available. That in the UK and other European countries, there are what we would call a federal credit, which we don't have here in the US. They also have a different labor structure, so labor's cheaper.
Would that be like almost a kickback? If a movie is produced overseas, they get a tax break essentially for filming there?
No, well, in the UK, it's a government, tax credit, right? Whereas in the United States, we have probably over 40 states that have individual state credits and incentives to shoot in those regions. If we had a federal tax credit, right, that would be even more of an enticement to come and shoot in the U.S. Labor is cheaper abroad. They don't have the same union structure that we have. The costs of goods and services may be less, but the U.S. needs to become more competitive in order to get that work back here.
So how is production in the U.S. being impacted? What are the jobs that are on the line or currently struggling?
Well, we're coming off of a boom period pre-COVID, a bit of a boom in 2021 and 2022, and then very much a slowdown in 2023 and 2024. So the whole industry is impacted, right? It could be your rank and file crew, everybody from grips, electrics, camera, to your department heads, cast, writers, everyone. And there's been some studio compression, right? There's been corporate consolidation, and decision makers are more judicious now about what they spend and where.
So what do you think of these tariffs? Do you think that they're necessary? Do you think that they could work and be a solution?
I think it's complicated. I think it sounds like an easy answer, but it remains to be seen how they would be implemented and when and where. I think the better idea is really to have an enticement that's a stackable federal incentive that we can put on top of regional incentives and be competitive with the UK or Canada and other foreign countries.
All right. Well, more movies is always a good thing. We love that.
For sure. We're here. We're ready to work.
Love that. Alexis, thank you so much for joining us.